Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Winston Rodney. Good afternoon, legendary
Yes,
Burning
sir.
Spear. How are you?
Give thanks. I'm good.
You're good. Hey, listen.
I'm good.
You're good. Got this song, and as soon as I started playing it, I'm getting calls from so many of your fans.
Mhm.
Whatever happened to Burning Spear? What is he doing? And it dawned on me that I have to reach out to try to get hold of you, because your fans are asking for you, and I'm curious to know what are you up to these days. So, a couple years ago, Bridget, when I got notice that you have retired, you are retiring or whatever
Yeah,
they said, I'm like,
yeah.
no, 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 no. Tony Bennett retires. He's 95. He has to be reading from teleprompter, not remembering his words. Barbara Streisand had gone on 2 or 3 farewell tours. Frank Sinatra has done a couple farewell tours. But Bernie Spear, where you retire from? What got into you?
But I did the farewell tour already.
But it was
You can't
premature, my
retire.
brethren.
Huh?
It was premature.
Huh?
The tour you did, the farewell tour, was premature, too early. That was.
No. Your man at 76, man. Come on.
But we just can't. You know, it's not really that it's a physical thing. I never heard that you have any, physical
uh,
disability or anything like that. So people want to hear from you. You are one of the last surviving legends in this business.
that's good. That's good. The last surviving legend. That's really, really good.
You like that, huh? You like that?
Yes, I need to keep it that way.
Well, when did you? It was like 4 or 5 years ago when you made that announcement, and what have you done since that time?
No, since I retired, I never go back on the stage, you know.
Okay.
And I make it clear, sir. That was it.
Right, right,
It,
right,
it, Spear gonna really move on, dealing with with Spear in a different way
right,
than really hit the stage and really singing.
right,
Of course, I know the fans always be there, even when I'm not touring, and
right,
to my last breath, I will always remember these people who always be there for Iman and supporting Iman for over the past years.
right, right, right.
You know, works like studio works and stuff like that. As long as the time is right, I will always make it available to release some songs where the fans at least could hear something new,
Right.
coming from Burning Spear.
So,
And since the last album I work on were called No Destroyer, and as you were saying it's a little while, I released a single from it called Mommy,
yes.
which is the right time, releasing a single like this.
Right.
These songs put together, not knowing that we would have a virus like the corona, and so many people would end up losing them job and never get called back to come back to them job.
Right, that
Then
is
you have a
true.
long line of people, looking jobs, and waiting to get that call. Some will never get that call again.
No, no,
Basing up
no.
on
For a man who been touring on stage for so many years, when you decided you're gonna, take a break from it, did you miss that, the touring? And because just the other day we got this lockdown of the world, but prior to that, did you miss touring? Did you miss
no,
being
no,
on
no, no.
stage
I will never miss touring. Of a man who been touring for so many
so
years.
many years?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't miss touring. No way I could miss touring. But I did it all. I did what I supposed to be doing musically,
Right,
and I did it in the best way I can.
right,
For what one have to remember, when I get this call, for my works is not about talent, and no disrespect to people with talent. This is a gift we're given to I with I man creativity by the Most High, and I follow the instruction and just do what needed to be done musically. So I think I pay my footing. I think I did it well, and I think I shouldn't try to repeat what I already done.
Right,
It
right,
got to stay that way.
right, right.
And so, remember, this my music, is a continual music, even though I'm not touring. And the earlier people would be following Burning Spear. After they start to get in age, they pass it on to their children.
Yes, that is true.
And then their children pass it on to their children,
Right.
children. So it's
Right.
a continuous thing. People will always listen to Burning Spear and read about Burning Spear and his works. And I think I did it well. I think
And
I
you
did
certainly
it in the best
did.
way.
And this is why the world can't get enough of it. Because you did it. I saw you. I saw you a couple of times over the years.
Yeah.
One of the shows I saw you was at Irving Plaza in Manhattan. And you had that bass section with all female bass section. Bass are, well, you call that bass, but horn section, sorry.
On section.
Horn section.
Yeah.
And that was never done before by anybody. Where did the idea come from?
I try to be creative. And in my works, it's not about color, race, nationality, or religion. If he's a musician and I like what you do, and I have to give you a job, then I will give you a job.
Right.
If I don't like what you're doing, then I'm not going to give you that job. And I say I'm going to come with something very unusual in the reggae category, reggae music category, where no one ever did before.
Trust me,
By
no one
having
never
female
did.
on section.
Yes, the
And
horn
I
section.
did that. There's so many different horns player who've been playing with Burning Spear over the past years. And each person who come, and play their instrument, they ended up being a member of the Burning Band.
Of the Burning Band. But do you realize also that you are one of the few artists that I've seen? I've seen just about them all. You could come on stage. When you're introduced, you could come on stage and you could just stand there for 10, 15 minutes, don't sing a note, and you still have the crowd going crazy. How did you do that?
Oh, yeah.
You are the only man who see that. Just come up and you just hold the mic stand and just look. And people are go crazy and say, him don't even sing a word yet.
The people prepare themselves and they know what's going to happen. So they're sending the message to me that, yes, Daddy, we're ready to accept.
You're ready. We ready when you're ready. We ready when you're ready. I have never seen that in because once you come on stage and you get that big applause, you just want to jump into it. But you have your musician to just playing and playing and playing and be nice and make you don't open your mouth.
Yeah. They know what's coming, so they prepare themselves for what's coming.
Now you have done a lot of albums. So, have you any number, any idea how many albums you have done?
Whoa, that's a lot. A lot. I done albums where after doing these albums, I don't even listen back to it.
Right.
I have so many unreleased songs.
I can
Can
imagine.
turn itself into 4, 5, 6 albums, if not more. What never been released.
And talking about that, Burning Spear, you are one of the first artists, I should say, that really start to challenge and question the numbers coming from record companies. You were one of them that you didn't take the foolishness and the foolish arithmetics and math that they were giving you. Why did you see that as a fight to have with these record companies?
Well, to be honest, in this reggae music business, and I wouldn't say even reggae, music in general, company was very important at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But they are the one who bring you into the international market, worldwide. For when you're dealing with a record company, they send your record to places where if you were dealing with it by yourself, it wouldn't end up reaching those places.
Okay, fair enough.
After a while, company create this thing around, especially around reggae artists, is like we're limited doing what we're doing, or we're limited, getting certain amount of recognition
Right.
as a reggae artist,
Right.
and company will do some crazy things. Yes, as I said before, they did some good things. So when I take a good look and see the behavior of company, when how they start to behave, that is when I create my independency, and say independent is the way at that time. And when I became independent, then things start to work for me and work the way it should be working all along from a longer time. So company is good and company is ups and downs in this music business, not only reggae alone.
Right.
So I did determine that I need to do my thing for my thing. But if I never start to do what I've been doing for myself, I won't be eating food from my labor.
Wow. But did you realize...
Was I eating food dealing with record company? No, just a small portion of food I was eating dealing with record company. Well, after I started to deal with it for myself, I could identify a bigger plate of food.
Right. But did you see... Did you see at the time that you were setting a trend that other artists were going to follow what you were doing? Because once you started doing that, I mean, the list just keeps growing of artists who start to stand up for their stuff, want to get their masters and more. Yeah. Was that a conscious move on your part? Did you say, I'll be the first to jump out there and do it? Did you think that way?
Yeah, it was a conscious move. It was a serious thing, I did determine. I said I need to do this thing for me, and I need to do what I would like to do. And it worked.
It certainly did. And not just for reggae artists, because when you start that, people like Prince start to demand more, want to get their masters and have more control of. So you are a pioneer in not just one area of the music. You are a pioneer in that sense where other artists look up at you, what you were doing, and follow and start eat more food out of their works because of what? Yeah. Because of you.
But if we never do that, we wouldn't be ending up, having the food we're supposed to have. We wouldn't be ending up could drive a car or live in a good house or help somebody who need help. We wouldn't be able to do all these things if we never make that step for us.
Well, the history book will show that you are a pioneer in that, fighting for those masters. Have you gotten back all your masters now? Do you have everything you're supposed to have?
I got what belongs to me.
What belongs to you? I hear you, sir. You got what belongs to you.
Yeah, I got what belongs to me, and that cannot be taken away from I. That's mine.
Respect.
What I got belongs to no record company. It belongs to me.
All right, we got to remind the listeners who we are talking to. And when we come back, Burning Spear, I know you're involved with some charity work and we want to talk about the new single. But let's remind the audience, we are talking to the legendary Mr. Winston Rodney. Even though you're out there for years and you might think everybody knows, but that's not the case, because a lot of people don't know how you came up with the name Burning Spear. You have a lot of new fans that might not have taken the time. How did you come up with the name Burning Spear?
But the name Burning Spear coming from Kenya. Jomo Kenyatta once called Burning Spear. I was back in Kingston at some time on Industrial Terrace off Spanish Town Road. And there was a brethren by the name of Naya. And Naya was listening to him and singing out, And Naya turned to I and asked how much I know about Jomo Kenyatta. I tell him I don't know much about Jomo Kenyatta. And him say, I need a name like what Jomo Kenyatta was traveling with. I said, what was that name he was traveling with? He says, Burning Spear. And that's how the name came about. So,
wow.
He think that was the right name for me, based upon the songs he would be listening to when I'm on were singing. So I said, okay, I take the name Burning Spear coming from Jomo Kenyatta.
Nice.
What's called Burning Spear.
Perfect
President
story.
of Kenya.
Perfect story. At that time, you were before you went into Studio One, before you.
Yeah, but that's a way. That's a way before doing any recording, man. Remember, Studio One, at a later time,
Right.
1969. That was Studio
69.
One. For
Right. So, okay.
Studio One, I've been feeling this music way before I go to Studio One. And when I go to Studio One and sing my first song, to be honest, I know that I would be working with some of the best musicians, studio work engineer, and live performance.
Mm-hmm.
After doing that song for Studio One, Door Peep.
Door
And
Peep.
then from there on, it goes on. For originally, Burning Spear was a solo singer, and my first background vocal were Rupert Williston.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Williston do like 4 to 5 singles, and Williston walk away. And I stood up there with Studio One, but things wasn't working. And I myself walk away. Then I were on the beach where Marcus Garvey Youth Club used to be. And then here comes the song Door Peep from Studio One.
Studio One.
That's the way the whole thing gets started, And
And
last
that-
but least, and if I didn't bump into Bob in the opposite part of St. Ann, maybe I wouldn't end up at Studio One, and
Right.
Bob, asks I'm on how much I know Kingston. I'd be honest, tell him I
Can you
don't
come
know
from
Kingston.
St. Anne's?
Yeah,
Yes.
both of us come from St. Ann, and I decided to wake up one morning early and get a truck back drive and go Burnford Road, me and Rupert Williston, and that's a come back the next Monday, and we go back the next Monday and record my first song, what was written by Iman and sing by Iman.
Nice.
Door Peep shall not enter this whole land.
No. Do you realize that you are basically credited for reviving the name Marcus Garvey, reviving the philosophy of Marcus Garvey, the teaching of Marcus Garvey? Was that another intention on your part, or it just happened? It just happened that.
It was an intention. Early on, it wasn't an intention. Before I started to sing, it was an intention.
Okay.
And what bring I into that intention is when I stood up at the corner of Market Street and Main Street, and I heard these 3 men were talking about Marcus Garvey.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first time hearing somebody talking about Marcus Garvey. Then when I get musically now, I remember everything what they were talking about. And I start to look at the picture. And I say, hell, no artist never say a line about Marcus Garvey. Maybe it's my time to do it. And so it gets started.
Wow.
Marcus Garvey was a very important man. I myself didn't even know that Marcus Garvey was so important. But Marcus Garvey wasn't like a subject in school wherein
True.
we would learn about Marcus Garvey and his works.
Right.
Learn about him before he leave Jamaica. Learn about him when he leave Jamaica. Learn about him when he come back to Jamaica. Not like that wasn't going on. But in school they taught you about Christopher Columbus, who did not do anything for Jamaica.
Wow. All right. Let's remind you. One of your signature songs, if it's not your signature song, it's one of them, is Marcus Garvey. Well, a lot of people would say, A Burning Spirit, that this song opened the door for you. Would you agree with that?
Well, there's a lot of Burning Spear songs that open the door for Iman. One of my strongest songs, when I say strongest, outstanding, is Slavery Days. When I write and sing the song Slavery Days, Iman shook the world musically. But no one thought a song like that could be written and sing. So that is one of my foundational songs. Do you remember the days of slavery?
Let me ask you, in those days, this 75, 76, most of the artists in reggae, they were singing, chanting these kind of lyrics. You don't get a lot of it today. What are your thoughts on that?
Come again?
Back in the day, in the 75 and the 70s, mainly the 70s, a lot of the artists around were chanting, lyrics like Slavery Days and so on. They don't do that much today. What are your thoughts?
No, you see, the whole music business has changed, and people don't take time to do what they have to do properly, musically. But putting a song together is not an easy thing, worse if you want to put the song together the right and proper way, when people can get the understanding and the essence about what you're singing about. So therefore, yes, at that time, you did have artists really reaching out to the history, our history, through the music. It's like Bob say, get up, stand up. You understand? So after a while, a changes create itself wherein some artists wasn't looking in that direction no more.
Right.
And most of those artists start to not working as before. There's a new generation of singers come in with different idea, musical idea, where they thought that work for them. So they go with what working for them.
Right.
Now, we do have to stay still and think and look from a distance, and find the right lyrics, what will give the people or the listeners the right understanding about what we're singing about. So now things is different. Musically, things is different now. People don't take time out. People don't even play an instrument no more than so far.
Right.
Program him, a guy can just use certain instrument and program a bass, a saxophone, a trumpet, a lead guitar, a bass guitar, So that original essence is not there like before. Yes, 1 and 2 try to keep it as strong as they can to maintain that original, aspect of everything musically.
Right. With the few minutes we have left, tell us about Spread the Love a Move. This is a charity that you are committed to and you are helping out. Tell us about that.
I used to deal with the infirmary, infirmary located in St. Anne Prairie, couple miles from St. Anne's Field. And I did ease up at one time, but I take a good look and I say, why would I ease up? The people who I've been feeding is not a problem to me, so I'm supposed to continue feeding these people. So I believe in helping the people who need something, and people like those, they need something. So I try to give back something to those people. It's like the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, the children ward. I try to give the kids something they can play with. At least they sit there in this ward, they have something they can look on, they can play with it and stuff like that.
Right.
Train line back in St. Mary, people who never have a good time, never have a good Christmas, never can go at a little function, sit down and eat something, reason with each other, drink something. So I try to give back something based up on that.
Right.
I'm not going to give to the person who don't need. For the person who want is not a problem. Him want him come to me or you,
right?
Because him think that he
can get it.
He will get it.
How long you been?
But not least.
How long you been doing this though? How long you been doing this?
I've been doing this for a little while with the infirmary, and then Zazan contact me. And then we were reasoning and talking, and he was telling me about, places or people who need something. So over time we do like fried chicken and stuff in Otraya, some Otraya to St. Anne's Bay, and we feed all these people, these homeless people who don't live nowhere, have no food.
Right.
And we's like on a trail. He just go around and find these people. And we make the link, and we provide the food.
Nice.
So all these people can have a full meal. Somebody need a shoes, well them with a shoes, well them with a pants.
Right.
And we just keeping this going, going for people who need something. It's not about a man who come into me and ask me for something when he or she do not need it.
Right. But
so
if we
play a big role in this.
If we want to help.
Man back in Jamaica, who is on top of everything and navigating everything and make sure everything go the way it should be.
If
giving
people,
back something is pretty,
it's not easy.
There's a lot of artists
I have to be careful.
thinking that way, but who am I to tell them they should think in that way?
If your fans or some of your fans would like to help out, how can they reach out to Spread the Love a Move? What must they do?
when you say reach out, what is it
Like
they're reaching out for?
to help, to contribute, to make a donation, to help.
Oh,
Because you as a
okay.
star, you are the influence to a lot of people, and when they see you doing something and it's good, they want to do it too.
Well, I think it's about time, and that will be very, 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 very good for other people to come in because they see what I'm doing is the right
Right,
thing.
right,
Yes,
nice. So you
yes,
could go to your website then. You have
yes,
a website.
yes, yes. It's there, right there.
Nice. Now, all right. So I'll let them know. In terms of mommy,
Hmm.
what are your intentions with this song? Is it gonna be available to the public, or is just to keep your name
No,
out
this
there?
song
Or
gonna
what?
be available to the public. It's a public thing, you know.
Ah,
You know, it's a public. This is the first song from the album. This album did great, like 2011 up to now. It don't release.
no destroyer.
Yes, since
Oh,
2011, and I didn't release it, and this is the first single coming from it, "Mommy."
mom. And when I listen to the lyrics, I'm trying to pinpoint where you're going with this song. Now that I have you online, tell me exactly. You're appealing to the mothers to be better mothers, or you're appealing to them to take care. I'm
I'm
trying to.
I'm I'm appealing in all different way or form. You know, for when you take a look, if this virus never come about, a lot of people would be still working.
Right,
People wouldn't be losing their job. They didn't get fired, you know. Don't get me wrong. Nobody get fired because of the virus. So people did have to lay people off. So less people is best.
right,
So it's not like it's not like somebody saying that, okay, Spear, sing this song or these lyrics. It's
right,
not
right.
like that. I see what needed to
What
be
needs to
sing
be
about.
done?
I sing
Right.
about this song been record. Remember I told you from 2011 and there was no virus in that time. And I put the song together and I put it out there. Even in that time, there's a lot of people who wasn't getting no work.
Right, right.
And
Even
after the
then,
virus
yes,
come, it
yes.
became worse.
Now
So
let me ask you
I
though.
just sending a message through the music,
In
you know, for
March,
Daddy loses job, maybe get laid off,
right.
which is real.
It,
You
it,
know, filling out application don't mean you might get a call right now in this time. It don't mean you might get that call. 100,000 of people not getting
Not
that
get the
call.
call.
And we'll never get that call again to come back to work. But it's not possible.
Now, in earlier 2021, in about March, April, picture came out with you getting your vaccination.
Hmm.
And because of that, a lot of man when me know say, "Why, me know." When that picture came out, Spear, you kind of changed a lot of minds. Was that deliberate to put that picture out?
Come again.
The picture of
The
you getting
picture.
your vaccination
Oh,
changed a lot
yes,
of people.
I never mind doing that.
No,
I
I'm
never
saying,
mind doing that, showing people that they need to do this.
ah,
But it was good. I do it. And some people criticize it. Some people say all different kind of garbage.
I think
And yet they hide and took it.
most people
So,
were happy to see someone like you taking it.
but that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, a man at 76 years of age, man. Come on. I took my 2 vaccines. I took my two
Two vaccines.
vaccines plus my
The booster.
my booster,
Ah,
and I
yes,
took
sir.
my booster.
Respect,
So,
respect.
so I'm good, you know. Yeah, the man who thinking that him shouldn't take it, him can knock himself out.
So
And
are you anticipating going back on the road in some form, some shape, some form?
no, I would make a promise to the people, and if something like that should happen, I don't even know when or how that will happen. And I would make an announcement, tell the people, yes, I'm thinking about it.
Right,
I'm going to
I
come back in
understand.
the next 2 or 3 months' time.
Right.
I don't think so.
But let me ask you though, won't you do spotted shows like you would do a thing in Europe, once a year, or you do Jazz Fest in Jamaica, Rebel Salute. When was the last time you been on Rebel Salute?
Yeah, I played for all those events already. Rebel Salute. I did it. I played for it already.
Hey,
I did Sun Splash.
I
did
know.
everything already.
I was involved with a booking that you did in Belize.
Yeah.
You remember that show that you did? I was involved with it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
trust
I
me,
remember.
when you came at the airport, because I got the video, these people, you were like a little god to them. You, they show people at the airport, they were just bowing to you. How does that make you feel?
That made me feel strong. You know, that bring a happiness, musically happiness
Yes.
to him, and to know that, you know, I'm there, the people is there for me, and we're going to get the job done, and get the job done the best way we can. When I hit Kenya, you know, the only thing leave for these people is take me off of the ground, you know. When I hit Kenya, and when I hit South Africa, it was like, I don't know how to explain it.
I get it. I see. I mean, Kenya, of all places, I mean, the name Burning Spear.
Yeah,
They would think it's their prime minister being, you know, resurrected.
You know what they say when I go Kenya? He comes home. He came home.
Exactly. Well, listen, I said earlier, a few of my colleagues, when the word went out that I was gonna be talking to you, and they said, "But Mr. Lindsay, you can't talk half an hour with Burning Spear." I know I can, but I'll try. We have limited time. But listen, brethren, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
again, thank you very much for this song, and we'll do our best with it. And we stay in touch.
Yeah, this song is the people's song, man. The song sending a good message to parents, family, children, fathers, mothers. You know, it's a strong song, and it's a strong message within the song.
Yes. Burning Spear.
Yeah.
When you need me, you have my digits. Give me a call and say hello to Patricia for me.
No, I will.
Very, very professional. Very, you know. I told the audience yesterday and so on Friday that my people are talking to your people and your people are talking to my people, so we could have this conversation today. So I thank you very much, brethren.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we talk.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Respect. Cool.
And Lindsay a promoter. Bring up the biggest set of artists from Jamaica. Like Super Cat and Mr. Early be the doctor. Only for artists, no for them me can remember. Who can remember when them used to keep Jamaica? The kind of show that used to give out no for water. To reggae artists.